Oh man, what a lovely, lovely day it is. Friday, November 22nd. Where did this whole year go? Where did this whole year go? And also, where did the Steelers offense go? What the hell happened last night? Kind of can't believe that the Brownies pulled it out last night on my Steelers. And yeah, I'm a little bummed. You know what I mean? I'm a little bit upset. I've got some good friends that are Browns fans. And we were talking a bunch of shit on each other the whole time, and then it just ended. And you know what I felt like, guys? I felt like the Riddler from Matt Reeves' Batman. I was like, this is not how it's supposed to go. No, like literally. So that was kind of disappointing. Kind of rough. But lucky for me, and lucky for all of you, it's no longer a New Year's. It's still a new you. It's New Year, new me, bro. New year, new me. And we're almost to 2025 version of that. A new year, new me in 2025. My God. Crazy things are happening. Why did you say that name? Yeah. Rossi, thanks for the sticker. What up, though? What up, what up, what up? Ladies and gentlemen, even though the Steelers let me down, we have some pretty incredible news to go over today. We need to talk about this. We need to talk about Jonathan Majors, the Jonathan Majors news. Everybody's out there like, oh my God, bring Kang back. Kang's coming back. Oh my God, Kang this, Kang that, Kang-a-lang, wang-a-lang, Kang-a-lation. And so we're going to go over that. We're going to go over the article. I'll give you my take. And, you know, it's kind of a complicated, nuanced thing. I also know that a lot of you don't read good. So I'm going to explain what actually happened because a lot of you don't read the word good. So we'll explain it. I'll go over it, break it down for you, and then we'll talk about the indications of what it could be, you know, what could actually be happening next. Then, lucky for us, Powder, thank you so much for the 20 spot, brother. Appreciate you. Says, bro, I've been underground for months. Finally get to see you live. Got X and followed you last night. Congrats on the election, fam. We have a dictator in Canada. LOL. Nerdvengers. Freaking life, dog. Unity. MOM sucks. Salute. Appreciate you, brother. Thank you. Thank you. And I'm glad you made it back above ground. Thanks for popping your head back up like Punxsutawney Phil. So we're going to talk about that. Also, guys, crazy drama with James Gunn. I know you can't believe it. I can't believe it either. James Gunn, you know, usually so measured, so smart, definitely not controversial, and definitely not fucking this whole thing up. But some drama, some news, some bits came out yesterday about his plan for the Superman trailer. I honestly can't believe this. It's crazy. It's like, part of me's like, I can't believe this. And then part of me's like, oh, no, yeah, I believe this. I 100% believe this. This is a total James Gunn thing. So we're going to break that down. And then we got to talk about Ryan Reynolds teasing the Deadpool holiday special and why I think that is such a W. So yeah, we'll have some good topics to get into today. Probably not going to be a super long stream, guys. I actually have an appointment to go get my hairs cut. So I need to take care of all this craziness that's going on up here. Hair appointment. So we'll get through the news. We'll do a little Q&A. We'll hang out and then we'll get out of here. Also, tonight, 7:30, we are doing another Diamond Lounge. So if you've been a member for 6 months or more and you're an active member, you can get into the Diamond Lounge. And tonight, it should be pretty spicy. It should be pretty juicy. We'll talk about some aliens. We'll talk about some Anunnaki. We'll talk conspiracy theories. We'll talk memes. We got a lot to go over tonight. So if you want to get wild and crazy, come on by the Diamond Lounge tonight. It's going to be via Discord again. We can't put this shit on YouTube anymore. I apologize, but we can't do it. Can't do it, won't do it, not going to do it. So we'll be live tonight on the Discord. It's going to be a good-ass time, man. It's going to be a good-ass time. I got to go out and get the booze for that later today. Do you go to Sports Clips? Do you get the hot towel? No, brother. I go to a little bit of a higher level establishment than Sports Clips. No offense. Sports Clips, fine. You know, it's probably fine if you like Sports Clips, but I'm too bougie. I'm too bougie for that shit. Yeah. Did you get any Batman Kith stuff? No, I did not, brother. I did not. I have not gotten any Kith stuff in a long time, actually. Yeah. Hair appointment. You're a man. Just walk in. Well, again, I know this is kind of unrelatable. You know, I know a lot of you guys probably can't conceive this. You know, hashtag can't relate. But at higher level establishments, you can't just walk in. You have to make an appointment. I know. It sounds crazy. You know, I'm going super bougie. I'm completely out of touch with my audience. It's crazy. You're all plebs. But, yeah, no, like... you can't walk into the place I go. I got my own barber. I pay $45. See, now this man knows what he's doing. That's essentially pretty close to what I pay as well. It's just hair. Snip, snip. Oh, boy. Noah says, Josh, what are the chances we see Doom toot his horn? Much love, sir. What? Probably 50-50, man. Probably 50-50 on that. Q is not a robot. Upgraded to Nerdventure Prime. You know what I'm going to do this weekend just because of you, Q? We're going to do a Prime stream. We're going to do a Prime stream. In fact, why do I feel like there was something else going on Sunday? Why? Stand by. Stand by. We'll do one on Sunday. I just don't know what time. Probably early, to be honest with you guys. Probably early. But yeah. Rossi says F Supercuts, Sports Clips, and Great Clips. Those are like places to go if you can't get an appointment with your actual barber or the person you go to at the salon. Yeah, 100%. No, I'm serious. We'll do a Prime stream on Sunday. It's been a while since we've done a Prime stream. It's long overdue. I have a lot of business stuff going on, so there's actually a lot that I could share with you guys. A lot of really cool stuff on the horizon. Why are the fights at 3 a.m.? What the fuck? What? Are they really? Are they in Abu Dhabi or something? Aw, man. I hate it when they do that shit. Ugh. David says, can you drop Twitter and get Blue Sky, please? No. No. I mean, guys, look, I understand everybody wants to flock. Everybody's all mad, this, that, second, and the third. And I also understand, like, maybe Blue Sky has a chance. If Blue Sky becomes the hot new shit, I will get a Blue Sky account. But what I'm not going to do is, like, do the fashionable thing to, like, get a Blue Sky account. I don't care. I don't care. In fact, as far as I'm concerned, Elon won. He's the real president. He's actually in charge of the world completely at this point. And I, for one, accept our new Elon AI-driven Anunnaki rule. I have completely flipped. I am Team Elon now. He basically rules the world, and I will capitulate. So I don't know if that thoroughly enough explains how much I'm not going to make a Blue Sky. There you go. It ain't gonna happen. It ain't gonna happen. Rossi, thank you for gifting a member. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. I'm 26. I'm not downloading a new social media. Yeah. No, I mean, look, I'm not necessarily against downloading a new social media. If I actually saw that a new social media was like for instance, I'm considering streaming on Facebook. Okay. And I thought Facebook was dead, like not really a platform. But there's actually a lot of people that still are on Facebook, especially in the international community. I think it's a little bit of an older skewing audience, but I think there's a ton of people over there. It kind of seems like TikTok's here to stay. It seems like the new administration actually wants TikTok to stick around, which also seems wild. But I'm even considering getting back on TikTok. You know what I mean? I'm considering these platforms, but I gotta be honest with you, Blue Sky does not seem like... in no way, shape, or form do I think Blue Sky is going to take off in any real way. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. And if I am wrong, there'll be like plenty of evidence, and then I'll be like, damn, look at all these people on Blue Sky, let's go. But no. Josh, did you see they're bringing back the double pump in Fortnite? No, but I love a good double pump, so maybe I'll check it out. I did see that they put like shoes into Fortnite. That's kind of wild. So they have like Nikes and like Jordans. So you could be the S tier Green Goblin and rock a pair of Jordans in Fortnite now. That's kind of cool. That's kind of cool. Josh unbanned me. F you. Somebody ban that guy. No, I'm just kidding. Don't do it. Double pumps are tight. Oh, hell yeah. Well, I can see you guys are off to your regularly scheduled Friday. You guys feeling crazy? Are you all pent up? How was the week for you? We're going to get into the news. We'll get into it like 5-10 minutes, but let's catch up. How you guys doing? Filthy McNasty says, Josh, you enjoy that Browns vs. Steelers game last night? I actually did right up until we lost. It was a great game. Love the snow. Big rivalry, of course. A lot of back and forth, man. Dude, when they were driving and then they threw that interception, I like messaged all my homies and I was like, that's the Browns I know and love. Let's go, baby. You know what I mean? Bunch of shit talking, only to then have the Steelers fuck it up. So I'm not really feeling great about that. Yeah. But hopefully Steelers, man, they can recover from this. I think they did get exposed a little bit. It's hard to say, right? Like, obviously, inclement weather. The Browns know them well. But, dude, they have so many division games coming up. Like, basically, my thing with the Steelers is division games are hard. The AFC North is super tough. All of those teams play very well against each other. Guess what? Get over it. Because that's, like, the whole rest of your goddamn season. So you got to win those games. You got to win those games. And I do think they got exposed a little bit last night. But we'll see. We'll see how bad it is. We'll see how bad it is. Frank Poe says, Josh, am I allowed to put my Cash App link in here? Desperate to come up with $850. I'm homeless, getting evicted. Landlord. If you send me $100 to cover the transfer fee, I'll transfer you some money. Hit me up in the DMs. Braden says, Josh acting like he knows what he's talking about NFL-wise makes me crack up. Sure. Sure, Brandon. Sure. Whatever you say, bud. Why don't you send me $100 too? Holy shit. We're already off to a crazy start. I'm going to lose my mind already. It's supposed to be a short stream anyways. My God. Kaiju says the 5 spot. Is Kang coming back? Also filming for Avengers 5 hasn't started. All Marvel had to do was wait for this to happen to keep doing Kang Dynasty. Fuck. Holy shit. Okay. All right. Okay. All right. Hey, Kaiju, appreciate the 5 spot, man. We'll get into that in just a little bit, okay? Sesame Bagel, thank you for subscribing over on the Twitch. Appreciate you. This new time is throwing me off. Well, I apologize. I think next week we're going to do a new time every day. So every day will be a new random time. You know, I just really want to see how loyal you guys are. So, you know, I looked at the numbers this week. Not very fucking loyal. You need to do better, Senator. You understand? Q is not a robot. Subscribed over on Twitch. Nerd Vengers. So wait, you're subscribed over here and you're subscribed over here? That's a W. My man. Why can't you guys follow Q is not a robot's example? My man. Woo! Hell yeah. Rossi says, who's your favorite? Who's your favorite X-Men? Awesome. So many of you are super dramatic about Blue Sky. LOL. I bet it was a streaming service you downloaded. Awesome. Really glad we're having this moment together. I really appreciate catching up with everybody, making sure the community's still insane. Always good. Alex says, hey, Josh, do you think James McAvoy, Michael Fassbender, and Wesley Snipes are returning for Secret Wars? Yeah, I think there's a pretty good chance. I mean, you never know. I've always heard the Kinberg stuff is like less desirable to Kevin because he personally actually has some beef with Kinberg, which is interesting. Rumors. But we'll see. You know, I think that I think it's possible. And I think Fassbender specifically was looked at for Multiverse of Madness. That is kind of out there, right? So, interesting. Interesting. What's the P.O. box? Somebody in chat's going to have to help you out, brother. I don't know it offhand. Bob John's on a new admin. Subscribe with Prime for a month. Appreciate you, man. Thank you for the support. I'm excited for the James Gunn talk. Me too, man. Me too. Did you guys watch Grace Randolph's stream yesterday? Man, she is so balanced and fair. And, you know, when it comes to Gunn, she puts all personal feelings aside. And she just gives you the straight news, the straight reports with no bias, no agenda, no hating, just like me. And I love it. So we're going to talk about it. Bianca, what up? Good to see you. It's time to move on. What? I don't think so, bud. Watch them wrist rocket says, long live the penguin. How many more weeks do I got to hear about the penguin? Didn't that show end a couple of weeks ago? Great arc too. The bad guy's still a bad guy. That's kind of crazy. Bianca, I agree. I think Grace is great. I mean, sometimes Grace has takes that make me want to like rip my hair out, glue it to myself, and then have somebody wax it off of my body. But most of the time, I actually really enjoy her takes. I think she's like very level-headed. Her business perspective is really good. So I like Grace. Also, you know, not all the time. Ross says, remember the line at the end of Age of Ultron where Thor says, besides for this one, points at Tony, anything can be explained. Makes one think about Doom. Oh, yeah. You know what else is kind of interesting about Doom? And Kendall hit me up about this too. But do you guys remember in Endgame, the scene with Tony in the elevator and with his dad? When his dad explains that his mother's pregnant with the child, it's actually surprising to Tony. I don't know if you remember this, but it surprises Tony. The reason it surprises Tony is because the timing is off. The reason the timing is off is because that child dies in childbirth and Tony is adopted, I think. You know, Victor, etc. Pretty crazy, huh? Pretty crazy. Q is not a robot says, I got 5 months on Twitch and 1 on YouTube. Think I can get into the diamond? Absolutely. Just hit somebody up on the Discord. One of the mods will get you in there. John Hicks with a 10 spot. Appreciate you, brother. Says, yo, brother, do you think we'll see a version of the Maker in Secret Wars? I would love that. I hope for it. Alex made mention of this in one of his Q&As, but he kind of said like it was going to be a small thing, not really significant, which is like, I don't know about that. So we'll see. We'll see. I think it's technically on the table. I think it's something they have been thinking about for a while, but you never know. A lot of change, a lot of flux. I mean, Kang's coming back. You know, RDJ thought he had that 100 million in the bank. Uh-oh, Kang's coming back, right? So anything's possible. Anything's possible at this point in time. Somebody says I missed their chat. Let me see. Let me go over these. Rossi, thank you again. Powder, thank you again. Noah, thanks, bud. Can you drop Twitter and get blue? No. Brandon says Josh act like he knows NFL wise makes me crack up. I don't know if like you're just trying to trigger me, or if you're just butthole, or what. And let's see here. James Gunn, white spiked pubes. Josh 2024. Yeah, that was pretty funny, huh? I thought it was funny. Again, just like Grace, super even-handed. You know, no bias, nothing. Nothing. You missed me saying hi? Wild Space Wanderer, what's up, bud? Hi, how you doing? Optimus Prime Rib says, if Doom is changing reality, is that what happened to Scott at the end of Quantum Mania? You should watch Silo on Apple TV. Damn good show. I've heard, actually. I just saw something pop up for Silo, actually. It's kind of interesting you bring that up. You know what? I'm going to take this opportunity. Optimus Prime Rib. W is in chat for Optimus because I need to take this opportunity to issue a thank you to Ryan Airy of Screen Crush, okay? So yesterday we watched a video by Ryan Airy, and it was a really cool concept of a video. Frankly, the video's good. Like, it's a well-produced video, interesting edits, a lot of information in there. But I was left unsatisfied, okay? And the reason I was left unsatisfied is because I'm a hardcore Doctor Doom fan, and Ryan Airy's like a fake-ass Doctor Doom fan. You know what I mean? Like, it's okay. It's all good. A lot of respect for Ryan. I just got done this morning writing, recording, and doing a flow edit on my version of Ryan's video from yesterday, which talks about how Kang was afraid of Doctor Doom. And it's like a 16-minute video. It's with my editor right now. We'll probably upload it tomorrow. But, oh my God, I legitimately need to thank Ryan because he really inspired me to make my version of that. And it's like a really good video. So I think you're going to love it. Check it out. We'll drop it tomorrow. And some of this stuff with like changing reality is something I talk about in that video as well. Rossi says, could you do a whiteboard stream on how you would write your own version of a perfect Star Wars story? What would be your Star Wars story? I suppose I could. Is that something you guys would really want? I mean, I know Rossi would be down, but would you guys be down? Kind of like pitching a perfect Star Wars thing? Can I tell you guys something? Can I make an admission to you guys right now? Can I make an admission to you right now? This, you can't tell anybody about this. Keep this between us, okay? Keep it between us. Keep this between us, okay? I was devising a diabolical plan. Okay, absolutely diabolical. You cannot let this get out there because I'm going to do different shit like this in the next couple of years. But I was devising a twisted, crazy plan. I got my hands on a script by Michael Waldron. I think it's called The Worst Guy of All Time. Let me see. Yeah, Worst Guy of All Time. Incredible script. It is a script that got him his Marvel gigs. Okay? I love Michael Waldron. He's a great writer. So, why did I get my hands on this script? Well, I was working on a fake Michael Waldron's Star Wars movie script. Let me explain. I was going over the script. I was trying to kind of like learn his style, how he wrote. And then I was going to write a version of a Star Wars movie in the style of Michael Waldron. And I was going to pretend that I found it via leaks. And I was going to send it out to a bunch of like channels and shit like that. Get everybody to be like, oh, leaked version of Michael Waldron's script. Okay. Because at the time, Michael Waldron was working on the script for Kevin Feige's Star Wars movie. Okay, so my 6D chess plan was I'll write my Star Wars movie. I'll pretend that it's Michael Waldron. I'll copy his style in a lot of ways, and I'll pretend it's Michael Waldron. Then I'll leak it. Then I was going to record this whole thing and do like a big gotcha, like 6D chess move where I was like, actually, it was me the whole time, bitches. This is my Star Wars script. I know. Isn't that wild? Dude, how crazy am I? Kidneys, dude. Kidneys. You gotta be out there. You gotta be taking chances. You gotta be trying shit. You gotta be growing and expanding and lying and spreading misinformation. I mean, that's the game, baby. That's the game. And then Kathy was like, that's all a rumor. We're not gonna make Kevin Feige's movie. And then Kevin Feige was like, no, I'm not making that movie anymore. And I was like, God damn it. So, yeah. Again, don't spread that around because I have other devious plans that we'll be doing in the next couple of years. Kalon J says with a 5 spot, Gladiator 2 is incredible. Denzel the GOAT and bring Majors back. Feige. Nerd Vengers for life. Appreciate you, brother. You know what's interesting about that? I've heard really mixed things on Gladiator 2. Like, I want to watch it and I want to enjoy it, but I've heard crazy mixed things about Gladiator 2. So, I don't know. Brady says, thank you for this community, the streams, and the homies in chat. Y'all keep me sane while life has been turbulent lately. Nerd Vengers for life. Hey, appreciate you, man. Very happy to do what I do and very happy to have the community that I have. You guys are a bunch of scoundrels and you're all rascals, which makes you just like me. So I appreciate it. Thank you for being here, and thank you for making this a community of friendship, of commonality, of brotherhood and sisterhood, and of memes and shit takes and trolling and all the beautiful things that make us all the unique, beautiful snowflakes that we are. Hell yeah. Why are we still dick riding Majors? Oh, just wait. Just wait. You haven't even seen my take. Watch Jeremy John's review of Gladiator 2. Maybe we'll do that later. Okay, you guys ready to get into the news? Are you ready to get into the news? Oh, before we get into the news, one thing, real quick, before we get into the news. Real quick. Afton, I see it. I've seen that. Dude, I'm so hyped up on Marvel Rivals. I'm so hyped up. I might even do that Fortnite stuff. We'll see. If they put the Marvel Rivals Doctor Doom skin into Fortnite, I'll do whatever it takes to get that, okay? Okay, before we get into the news, this is actually pretty important here. So I wanted to show you this, okay? It's Warhammer. But it's not just any Warhammer. This is Warhammer. This is Saint Celestine. Okay? She's a living saint. She's one of the Sisters of Battle. And this thing was made by Weta. I mean, look at this beautiful thing, man. Look at this.
In the grim darkness of the far future, there is only war. On countless battlefields, humanity battles for survival against a galaxy that would see it destroyed. And yet, amid the smoke and fumes of the battlefield, a holy light radiates.
Hell yeah. Oh, behold, my God.
Celestine, the living saint,
oh my God,
limited edition statue. Following the thunderous triumph of Lieutenant
Titus,
my
God,
added on the despoiler's storm of terror.
Oh my
Celestine
God,
emerges as a beacon of divine
so cool. Okay, so the point is, they have a deal with Weta, and they're making a bunch of these sculptures. They're all really cool. Okay, this is Saint Celestine. She's incredible, and basically, I'm bringing this up because my birthday and Christmas is coming up right around the corner. So if you guys wanted to, you could definitely get me this and send it to me, and I can give you the PO box address. You know, I can. Oh my God, I'll put it on display. We can do it together. You know, I'll unbox it. We can put it up in the background, like all this really cool stuff. So you know, I'm just bringing this up. It's a good thing to do. This is something family does. Okay. When it's their birthday or their Christmas, it's like, how do you know what to get the person? Well, they got to let you know. They got to give you like a clue. So look, I'm just putting it out there. It's only around $850. Okay, so cheap date, W gift, and And so, look, I'm just putting it out there. There might not be room for it in the PO box, but if you deliver it to the PO box, they'll hold it for me. You know what I mean? So I'm just wanted to put that out there. We get a lot of these kind messages like, thank you so much for the community. Thank you so much for this, that, second, and the third. Big old expensive Warhammer statues speak louder than words. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Either way, I love you. Either way, I appreciate you. Just putting that out there. Okay. All right. Do you want ranch? Because this is how you get ranch. Dude, I've got plenty of ranch. You can see it back there. Holy. Okay, so anyway. Just now that we've handled that very serious, very important business. Let's get into the news. Where's the Variety article here, too? I want to get, like, official as a whistle about this shit. Hang on, let me get this pulled up. I'm a little bit behind today because I was working on my version of Ryan Airy's video. Okay, here we go. Boom, Variety article. Boom, perfect, beautiful, set up. All right, ladies and gentle beings, let's get into the news. We've got some crazy bits to talk about today, of course. Jonathan Majors in the news once again due to his lawsuit being thrown out, dismissed. Could Kang now return to the Marvel Cinematic Universe? That's a question that's on the minds of many Marvel fans. We're going to break that shit down. On top of that, James Gunn's Superman trailer. It's all the rage, all the talk of the town, the belle of the ball, as it were. And just yesterday, we got an update from Grace Randolph about a really interesting aspect with James Gunn's strategy or lack thereof for the release of the Superman trailer. Can't wait to get into that and shit all over. I mean, talk all about what that is and what it means and etc. Etc. What the hell is this green line? Do you guys see this? What is this? You see this? You probably don't even see it. I'm probably acting crazy. You probably think I'm crazy. We also then have to talk about Deadpool doing a Christmas special. It's Friday, November 22nd. This is the Nerdy News Rundown. It's like the news, but for nerds. Alrighty, so let's begin with the story you're all super interested in. Jonathan Majors' ex-girlfriend drops assault defamation lawsuit. Let's go to the Variety article, which came out yesterday's. And we're going to talk through this article, and I'm going to explain what's actually happening, okay? Jonathan Majors' ex-girlfriend drops assault and defamation lawsuit. Jonathan Majors' ex-girlfriend dismissed a federal lawsuit against him on Tuesday, in which she had accused the actor of assault and defamation, okay? The Marvel and Creed 3 star was convicted in December of 2023 of 2 misdemeanor counts for assaulting the woman, Grace Jabari, in the backseat of an SUV. He was sentenced earlier this year to attend domestic violence counseling. Now, what is not said here is that Jabari also received a charge during that trial, I believe. I'm fairly confident. She received a charge of, I'm not sure. Somebody in chat help me out with that. But let's just read on here, okay? In the backseat of the SUV, he was sentenced earlier this year to attend domestic violence counseling. Jabari sued him in March. Okay, so we're talking about 2 separate things. This is really important for you guys to keep in mind. Jabari sued him in March, alleging that he had defamed her by continuing after the guilty verdict to maintain that he had never laid his hands on a woman in an interview with Good Morning America. Are you paying attention? Are you paying attention? So, she dismissed a charge. He was convicted in December of last year. He was sentenced after that. And then after that, he appeared on The View speaking about the incident. That was when she sued. So we're talking about multiple things that happened, okay? Attorneys for both parties filed a joint notice with the court on Thursday, stating all claims against the defendant in the above captioned action are hereby dismissed with prejudice. Okay, so let's explain what this means. Are you with me, chat? What does this mean? It means all of the charges brought in the lawsuit, the second thing that was going to go to trial, not the first thing of which he was convicted, the second thing, all of those charges are hereby dismissed with prejudice. What does prejudice mean? Prejudice means they can't reopen this case. She cannot file again. She cannot appeal this decision. What it does not mean is it dismisses the charges he was already convicted of. Okay, so just right off of the bat, are you understanding what is happening? Let's keep reading. One of Jabari's attorneys, Brad Edwards, said Friday, that is how every case ends after it is resolved. That's kind of an interesting statement. It means she might have got a settlement, right? Kind of interesting. Another of her lawyers, Brittany Henderson, said the case had been settled favorably. Means she probably got paid. Okay? Grace Jabari has exhibited tremendous courage throughout this long and difficult process, Henderson said. As a result of her commitment to justice, the lawsuit that she filed against Jonathan Majors has been favorably settled. We hope that she can finally put this chapter behind her and move forward with her head held high. Majors was poised for a breakout year in 2023, starring opposite Michael B. Jordan in Creed 3. He was phenomenal in that movie. And as Kang the Conqueror in Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania. He was all right in that movie, but that movie was literally one of the worst things I've ever seen in my life. Made me want crows to fly into the theater and peck out my eyes. But his arrest in March 2023 led him to being dropped by his management and PR firms. Marvel cut ties with him after the guilty verdict. These are not just words. I'm hoping that you understand what's happening. We're going to break it all down after this. The actor was supposed to lead as the villain of Avengers: The Kang Dynasty, but the film has since been scrapped. Marvel pivoted to Avengers: Doomsday, starring Robert Downey Jr. as Dr. Doom. Oh, hell yeah. Still a fan. Still a fan of that move. Majors was cast in Merciless, a thriller from director Martin Villeneuve, earlier this year, in the first sign of a career recovery. Another Majors film, Magazine Dreams, was acquired for release next year by Bearcliff Entertainment after Searchlight Pictures dropped it. Searchlight Pictures, that's technically a Disney company. Majors has repeatedly denied the assault allegations and maintained a desire to resume his career in Hollywood. Okay. So, it's like the news. Chat, turn that shit off. Okay, so let me try to explain what's going on here, okay? So, and I had to double check with some people. I talked to some people yesterday about this because, like, my understanding of it, I was kind of confused. I know on the Discord there were people confused as well. We had like some discussions last night about this, okay? So, I think what a lot of people are misinterpreting this to mean is that he's now innocent and that this case being dismissed is like, oh my God, Marvel totally fucked up because they should not have fired him because now he's innocent. Holy shit, is that not true? Like, my God, that is literally the opposite of what is happening. He was found guilty and convicted. He was found guilty and convicted. Do I need to repeat it again? He was found guilty and then convicted. Okay, now later on he was sued, and it seems like from the people that I talked to, it seems like the lawsuit was essentially going after money. It was basically the claim that by Majors continuing to pursue his career and by Majors asserting his innocence despite being literally found guilty and convicted, that was somehow harassment and defamation. Do you understand what's going on? Is any of this making sense? Is any of this making sense? So the first thing that I wanted to say, and just because I know it's a little bit confusing, he's not innocent. He's literally guilty. He was convicted. The lawsuit was tossed out, and she probably got paid too. Okay? Now, having said all of that, I still think this is actually a W for Majors. Okay? So whatever happened, whatever he had to pay, whatever they settled on, it's still a W for Majors. Mostly because all of you are fucking misinterpreting it anyway. You know? And by the way, you might maintain his innocence in the same way that he does, but definitionally, he is not. Like, do you understand what I'm saying? Like, I hope you understand what I'm saying. I actually don't think it's that hard to comprehend this. You might think he's innocent, but by the letter of the law, he is not. Right? Like, I'm just saying, like, you might think it was bullshit. You might think she lied. You might think another white woman ruining the life of a young black man. You can think all of that shit. And yet, definitionally, he is guilty. He is guilty and convicted. Okay. Now, the next question is, does this mean that Jonathan Majors could return to Marvel? And this might shock you, but I actually think it could. I know that might seem crazy. I know that might seem counter to everything that I just explained. It's not, because I think getting this lawsuit settled and thrown out was probably a career move above everything else. I think that he is doing movies. And I also think that the court of public opinion is viewing this in a super positive scenario for Jonathan Majors. Okay? What Marvel needs to decide and what they need to kind of consider is, do we think now it is worth bringing Majors back into the fold? Okay? Technically guilty, technically convicted. Technically, I think he's still in counseling and therapy, but he's serving his debt to society. It was a criminal trial, and he was convicted, but he is serving his debt to society according to the letter of the law. So, like, as far as I'm concerned, like, penance paid. He seems to be in a better place. He's getting other career opportunities. So, I mean, look, my honest to God feeling on this is, if they're going to bring James Gunn back after all this shit he said, and that wasn't criminal or anything like that, but it was pretty gross, you know? If they're going to bring James Gunn back, I think, yes, I think you do bring Jonathan Majors back, okay? However, he is not going to replace Dr. Doom now. Like, guys, there's no way on God's green earth that they are going to go from announcing Robert Downey Jr. at Comic-Con to shifting back to Kang as the villain or even a major part of what they're going to do in the next couple of years. For the love of God, put your thinking cap on. For the love of all things holy, try to come at it from a business perspective. There is no way that is going to happen. Okay? However, this does technically open the door to some interesting possibilities. Number one, what I would do, bring Majors back in a capacity where, as the Kangs are wiped off the board, have Majors be a part of it. I would do that. This also allows potential future appearances for Majors as Kang. So just the other week, Alex Perez had an article on the Cosmic Circus. He was talking about how Marvel's open to more Kang, but it'd be like in the far future. And again, a lot of you guys were like, Majors back, fuck RDJ. It's like unfucking believable how some of your brain cells fire. I don't understand it. I try to have empathy, sympathy, and love for you while also just being like, what the fuck is going on in y'all's brains? Okay? But the truth of that article and the truth of what was said there is that they are open to it far down the line. The example that was given was the Red Skull. Okay, so let me explain the Red Skull thing, just so you kind of know what we're talking about here, okay? So you have Hugo, he's the Red Skull. Did you know that he signed up for multiple movies? He's technically still under contract to show up as Red Skull. And yet, when they finally brought Red Skull back, it wasn't even Red Skull, or it wasn't Hugo. Hugo didn't want to do it. And so the studio's like, we could technically force him to do it, but that feels bad for everybody. Nobody does that. There are two things in life. There is the contract you have and the contract that is enforced. Okay? So far into the future, they have an idea, concept for the Red Skull. They get a completely different person to play that character, and yet fans still love it. It still feels really cool. It's kind of in a different context to the character that we knew before. Has this real fun connective tissue type thing. I think you can do that with Kang. Absolutely. You could do it with Kang in the Mutant Saga. Have him pop up from a dead timeline and he comes back in and causes some trouble. You could have him be now some kind of cosmic being. He's elevated to the level of Beyonder or, you know, some other like entity or something like that. And I do think it would be cool to bring back Majors. Like, look, all jokes aside, all trolling and all ribbing aside, even though Jonathan Majors is guilty and convicted, towards the end of that trial, I actually became super sympathetic to him. I do think he was a little out of control. It seems like there was a toxic relationship going on there. But as far as I'm concerned, I don't think the crime matched the punishment, in my opinion. Now, the actual attributed punishment of counseling, sure. The like almost complete and total loss of a career that was on the rise, not fair. It's not fucking fair. Marvel has an opportunity to actually do something that for a lot of people, I think optically looks like a second chance. It looks pro-male. It looks pro-blackmail. This is a no-brainer W. Just bring him back. You could probably pay him 25% of what you were going to pay him before. Bring him back. Try to re-elevate his career. You know, have him go on talk shows. You could use the platform to speak on self-control counseling. You could, you know, there's so much opportunity within this example if you have the right mindset. I hope that they do it. I hope that they bring him back. I hope that they do it because I think it's the right thing to do. And I also think it would actually like earn them some skis. You know what I mean? Like a little bit of like, oh, okay, Disney. You know what I'm saying? So I actually think it would be a good move. But the reality of the situation is that while this is a W for Jonathan, it is not the W a lot of you think it is. He is not going to kick Doom's ass in Doomsday. And you know what I mean? Like none of that stuff is on the table. However, this is a W, and it does open the door for other future things. I think it's a good feather in the cap of him trying to rebuild his career. So at the end of the day, interesting story for sure. Interesting reaction for sure. I will be following along to see if anything else develops. W for Jonathan, but just not the W that a lot of you guys think it is going to be. Okay, so with all that said, I'll open it up to the chat for a little bit here. Do you have any comments, questions, concerns? What do you make of this situation with Jonathan Majors? What do you guys think? Do you understand? Do you understand where I'm coming from? You know, it's crazy. It's like I have a responsibility to try to give you the news as straight as possible. Like the misinformation, the excitement of certain people, I get it. It just doesn't necessarily match up with reality. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I was big wrong. It's okay. Because frankly, I don't even blame you guys for being wrong. The article's ambiguous. The way it was spread out there was weird. You know, particularly this line of like all the other stuff is dismissed with prejudice. Like I could see why people thought what they thought. But again, I mean, that's okay. You know, that's why we do what we do. That's why we get into the tower and you let Papa Josh explain it as best that he can. Okay. Disney and Marvel kept Bill in Ant-Man Quantumania. He was going to get sued for sexual assault. Yeah, for sure. There's a lot of examples of hypocrisy there. The thing with Majors was, I think it was two things. Number one, wow, was it a mistake to put all of that on a single person? It doesn't really matter that it was Majors. It matters that they said, let's have one guy play multiple versions of a villain and be the whole focus of our saga. Probably just not a good plan. And number two, because the case was so high profile and he was found guilty and convicted, they were just in a spot. They were in a spot where they had to do what they had to do. I think, as harsh as it seems, you also should remember that Marvel was the last people in town that were holding out for this guy. Everybody else dropped his ass immediately. So I know some of you think it's unfair. I know some of you are mad. I would urge you to consider the fact that Marvel Studios stood by this guy the longest, right up until a guilty verdict. And then, yes, of course, they had things prepared and they were ready to go. They're a fucking billion-dollar corporation. A lot's on the line. So everything that happened, in my opinion, is understandable. However, there's still a future here. There's still room for Disney to bring him back into the fold, to put his rehabilitation, aided by the Disney platform, on full display. And I think it would be a W. So I totally get it. I know that there's mixed feelings. I know people are super passionate about it. Totally understand it. But that's the truth as far as I see it. 60 million tickets were sold for Ant-Man 3. That's way too many. That movie was terrible. Quantum No says, I think they should put him back. Also, his situation is bad, but people still listen to Chris Brown. Totally agree. Totally agree. I mean, like, for me, I want to live in a world where second chances are a thing. I want to live in a world where your mistakes don't just become the permanent report card for you as a human being. And I think a lot of good can come from reforming and from change. You know what I mean? So, like, that's the world I want to live in. I hope that that's the way it is. I mean, good for Marvel to wait, but I'm not here to support someone who has a history of actions like that. That's totally appropriate too. You can feel the way you want to feel. They treated this dude to a digital lynching. Real talk. He's not Diddy. That's fair. That mess was more propaganda because he couldn't make stage 4 Marvel work. They totally needed a fall guy. Yeah, I mean, look, I just disagree with that point. Again, they held on as long as they could, in my opinion. Of course, they were making plans, and I think that there was a shift happening regardless. But from what I understand, they would have kept him. Had that verdict come down differently, they would have kept him. They might have still pivoted, but he would have got his $20 million for Kang Dynasty. You know, he would have got all that. So. I had a thought. They were setting up Victor Timely to be Von Doom as a moniker. Yeah, I've heard other people have that theory too. I've heard people have that theory too. 100%. 100%. Why would Disney do this with Majors and not with Depp? I really don't understand what you're asking there. You'd have to be more specific. Not everyone deserves a second chance, though. So who doesn't deserve a second chance then? Because I'm not necessarily saying you're wrong. I could intellectualize how certain crimes would be so heinous or certain people would have done something so bad that you can't risk reintegrating them into society. But I don't think this stuff with Majors is anywhere close to that, in my opinion. Mr. JB, thank you for gifting 5 memberships, brother. Appreciate you, man. Thank you. New Pirates movie is being developed. I'm actually not super aware of that. I've heard it. I think at one time it was going to star a bunch of female characters, right? And I think Johnny Depp's going to kind of be like an Obi-Wan. They're basically doing Rey with Johnny Depp. So I guess I'm just not 100% sure what parallel you're trying to draw there. I will also say this, too. This is just like kind of one of my things. I understand why hypocrisy upsets people. I totally get it. But I don't think there's a shortage of hypocrisy. And oftentimes, when just pointing out hypocrisy, you're not really making an intellectual argument. You're making an emotional argument. And I totally understand it because hypocrisy sucks. It's so fucking annoying. I get it. But it's actually not as much of a gotcha as you think. There's literally no shortage of hypocrisy within the world, within ourselves. It is a part of human nature. So, I mean, while I understand it, and I certainly understand why it drives views and attention online, I don't think hypocrisy is the gotcha that a lot of people make it out to be. Keira Knightley as Daisy Ridley Ray. That sounds like a W. Chimmy says on Twitch, I'm not in support of putting hands on a woman, but I also know if you poke the bear enough, he will wake up. Yeah, and again, like, we don't fully understand everything that happened. You know, I would remind you, too, there were several people that came forward about majors other than Jabari. I will remind you there was an incident in London before the incident in New York. So it's not as though, I mean, I know some of you just believe she was totally full of shit. I don't believe that. I believe they're both culpable. I believe they were in a toxic relationship, and I believe they were both not at their best, which is why I think they both get charges in the criminal trial, right? All I'm saying is I think there's an opportunity for a second chance here. I think it would be a W for Marvel. I think they should take advantage of it. I think he should come back, while also just trying to make clear that, like, guys, he's not replacing Doom. Like, that's just not happening. In no world is that happening. So, you know, again, we'll try to keep an eye on it. We'll see if anything else happens. We'll try to keep you up to date. But yeah, that's not what it is. And I also, look, I totally understand everybody's, like, narrative. I totally understand, like, everybody having their perspective on it. Totally fair. I have mine too. I'm trying to do my best to be even-handed with a complicated situation, trying to be fair while also having my own opinions. There's a lot of stuff going on, man. A lot of stuff going on. Brick says, Josh, you mentioned Quinn's ideas breakdown on Dune Prophecy a few streams ago, but got sidetracked. What was that about? It was about the fact that the Dune Prophecy show is the first ever live-action Dune thing to actually mention or tease the God Emperor and the Kwisatz Haderach. I forget how you say that. It's like the Kwisatz. It's like the robot people that they're all afraid of. Oh no, what are the name of those robot people? It's not the Trisolarians. That's Three Body Problem. Yeah, I forget the name of them. But in that breakdown, he basically talks about how the God Emperor, the Golden Path, and the super advanced like AI beings are all teased within that episode, which I think is really cool. Really cool. Maybe we'll talk more about that later, okay? All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's shift now to a different piece of news. This one is pretty freaking crazy. So, we've been talking about James Gunn's Superman. David Colin, my goodness, thank you for the 10 gifted members. Holy! Appreciate you, bud. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I gotta get an applause button on my soundboard. Appreciate you, man. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay. So, we've been covering Superman, covering the whole trailer thing. Yesterday, I told you about the article in Collider suggesting that the trailer would be shown in the middle of December. My current prediction is that it will drop on the 12th. Okay? But yesterday, Grace Randolph had a live stream and she spilled some tea. And oh my God, I'm so glad that she did. According to Grace, yeah, Shogun Order. I see what you're saying. It's not the jihad, though. I got to stop looking at chat. You guys are going to distract me when I'm trying to do my stories. So, yesterday what Grace Randolph said was kind of mind-blowing to me. She said that James Gunn had a plan to screen the Superman trailer for press only Monday, December 9th. So what she claims is like, do you remember when he went onto the lot and he showed all of the, he basically did like a Marvel phase thing with all of his projects and stuff like that. And he invited a bunch of press out to the Warner Brothers lot and just showed all of them that first. And then they wrote all their articles and then he made that little video, all of that sort of stuff. Okay. So apparently his plan is to do that again with the trailer. He wants to bring press out to the actual Warner Brothers lot. And he wants to show the trailer for the first time ever to the press. And then have the press talk about it, you know, write articles about it, give descriptions about it, okay? And then the trailer itself would come out later. All right? So, nobody has ever done anything like this. And you could think of it in two ways. I mean, if you're a glazer, you might say, how bold of James Gunn to spike his white hair like that every day in front of the mirror. And also to show the trailer for the first time to the press. To try to control the narrative to that degree. I mean, it is unique. I will say that. Nobody's ever done shit like this. Okay? On the other hand, if you were skeptic of James Gunn's control and his inability to get out of his own way, I mean, I really do believe that he has caused a bunch of unneeded damage and turmoil to this whole time period of transition for, you know, the DCEU into DCU. I'm on record. I've talked about it a lot. I just don't think he's that guy. You know, he's a good filmmaker. He's a good storyteller. He's a good writer. He's a great nerd. But I just don't think he's that guy. I think he has gotten in his own way several times. And to me, this feels like just the next version of that. I mean, it screams fear to me. It screams fear to me. I think he's trying to control the narrative. And why do I think he's trying to control the narrative? Because it's what he's been doing for 2+ years. It's what he's been doing for 2+ years. All of the debunking, even my beef with him, his beef with Grace publicly on Twitter, all of it. Him tagging actual trade reporters when debunking their sources in a trade article, which, by the way, has like actual financial backers, some of the same backers that back the actual Hollywood productions. I mean, how dumb is this dude? This guy has been trying to control the narrative for multiple years. So this feels exactly like an extension of all the stuff we've seen from the past couple of years. I think it's an absolutely terrible idea. And by the way, one thing that Gunn will not do, but he should, is if Grace putting this out there convinces him to not do this, he should thank her. Because it seems like nobody in his orbit has the balls to tell him when he is fucking up. Or he's so daft that he doesn't want to listen to them. So if somehow Grace scooping this gets him to not do the absolute asinine, totally stupid as fuck thing that he was going to do, he should thank her. But he won't. I'm super curious as to, is he actually going to do this? Is he actually going to do this. And I wonder what the response would be. You know what I mean? Like, I really do. I wonder what the response is going to be. Are people going to be excited that the press got to see it before them? Are people going to be excited that they might have to watch a leaked version or a description from a journalist rather than the actual trailer? Like, legitimately, is that a way to win fans over? I mean, look, here's what I'll say. Just to be fair, just to be completely fair as I possibly can be. I mean, you guys know I'm always fair. I'm always even-handed, especially when it comes to stupid ass. I can't believe this motherfucker got the job. We're doing this for multiple years. James Gunn. I'm always fair, and it's a fucking family show. Now, to be fair, nobody's ever tried shit like this before, so we don't know. It could actually work. I mean, I can't really see it, but it could actually work. I'm reminded of the leaks for The Rise of Skywalker. The Rise of Skywalker is a goddamn ridiculous movie, but I think the leaks, I think all the stuff that came out about Rise of Skywalker actually set the audience up with a better ability to enjoy that film. I think people went softer on it because some of the stuff just sounded so ridiculous in the leaks that when executed, when you see it in the film, it was like a little bit better. Or maybe you were just mentally better prepared for it. Right? So I could see a scenario in which this trailer's not that great, but the description of it sets a certain expectation in fans and actually allows them to enjoy the trailer further. And if he does that and he pulls it off, I will admit he's a genius. Begrudgingly, but I will admit it nonetheless. Also, in addition to all that, if the trailer slaps hard, maybe none of this matters. If the trailer's like so good, if it's so good, maybe none of this matters because that shit hits. It'll hit, the media, the journalists, right? Then it's gonna hit, the actual internet. And if people love it, it doesn't matter. I've said this about this trailer. This trailer is incredibly important, incredibly important. And if it's legit, sets a proper tone, makes people excited about Superman, James Gunn's whole thing, man. If it accomplishes all that he wants to accomplish, this is a footnote. It doesn't matter. The trailer will blow people away and people will get very excited. However, from where we're standing right now, this is news because it indicates fear. I think it indicates a lack of faith. I think it indicates stupid control. And I just don't think that's actually positive for the fandom. I don't think that's positive for this movie. We're going to find out, though. If he was just normal, we wouldn't be talking about this at all today. Grace wouldn't have talked about it yesterday. It wouldn't be out there on the internet right now. If he could just be normal, we would just watch the trailer and then decide for ourselves. But he's not. And so here we are, breaking it down in the most even-handed, positive, complete, fair way possible, in a way that we can only do here at the Den of Nerds. So there you go. That's the story. That's the whole take. That's what's happening. Would love to know what you guys think. I'm going to open it up to the chat. I'll open it up. What do you make of this? Noah says, if Superman makes $1 billion, you have to dye and spike your hair. 100%. In fact, I already have the hairspray right here. We'll spike it all. We'll spike it all. All the hair on my body will be white and will be spiked if Superman makes $1 billion. I'll also be happy. You know what I mean? Because I love Superman. I want the DCU to succeed. Any other thoughts, comments, questions, concerns? Josh, I felt bad for Grace. She's getting hate for disliking Peacemaker. Well, Peacemaker is trash, so I don't think she should feel bad about that at all. She's just speaking facts. Peacemaker is like if you fed ChatGPT all of the jokes that got Gunn fired and asked him to regurgitate a slightly less offensive television show. That's what Peacemaker is. It is fucking trash. So I don't think she should feel bad at all. In fact, I loved Grace's stream yesterday. I was on the edge of my seat. I thought it was some of her best work yet. So I really, I just support Grace so much, man. That's it. The Tlilaxu. That's what I was looking for. Thank you. Thank you, Frostrodamus. Appreciate you. Van Off the Black says, where does Gunn's animosity for Cavill come from? Well, Gunn's, I mean, I'll tell you what I think I think it comes from. Obviously, I don't know Gunn. I don't really know Cavill. My assumption is that Gunn is like a big Hollywood guy. He's like a career Hollywood guy. And if we know anything about Cavill, he's sort of like a black sheep in Hollywood. He's very difficult to work with because he cares about the source material and masculinity and, some of these other things that might run counter to certain forces within the town of Hollywood. So, I mean, that's my assumption. My assumption is Henry's difficult, particularly if you're just like a stout Hollywood person. Gunn feels like a big-time Hollywood person to me. So I think that's probably where the beef comes from. It could also be that Gunn just really did not like Cavill's interpretation of Superman, which is ironic because Gunn didn't even love what Snyder was doing. I don't know if you guys know this, but James Gunn was the last person to support the Snyderverse. James Gunn actually supported Joss Whedon coming in. I love Henry Cavill, but Cavill actually did not see eye to eye with Zack Snyder and his interpretation. But maybe there's some underlying stuff there. Not really sure, right? It's all speculation, but I appreciate it. Yeah. If the trailer slaps, you do color that hair, then you don't have to physically say you like it. If the trailer slaps, I'm going to tell you the trailer slaps. And I'm going to be excited that the trailer slaps. I hope that the trailer slaps. Genuinely, I do. I have a lot of concerns. And frankly, this whole journalist thing does not make me feel great about it. I'm like, what the hell is that about? I mean, I feel like if it was an incredible trailer, why would you do that? Is he really that afraid of what happened with the first reveal of the suit? And is his solution to that just trying to create the narrative rather than like organically addressing why people didn't like that? I don't know. It's kind of weird, right? Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. Guess we'll see. If the trailer is good, Josh needs to wear a Superman costume on stream. That's not a bad idea. Maybe I'll wear the Superman costume regardless. And if I hate it, I'll like rip the costume off and like burn it or something. Tleilaxu. Yes, that is it. That is it, brother. Thank you. Yeah, man. Yeah. Any other thoughts, comments, concerns, questions about this whole Superman thing, about him showing it to the press, etc., before we move on? Let me get this pulled up here. You should not be around fire. Why? Why not? Why? What do you mean? We'll light this whole goddamn room on fire. You know what I mean? Wait, what? How come I not able to see this shit? Oh, what the hell? Chris, appreciate you with the 10 spot, brother. Thank you so much. I actually feel the opposite. Sounds like he is confident enough to get the press buzzing about the trailer before it's released. Just like movie reviews come out before a movie's released. Hashtag don't hate me. Yeah, I mean, look, I can't really get to where you're at with it. But I'm not going to blame you for thinking that. Like, if that's the way you think, cool. I completely disagree. I think if you were, I mean, first of all, Chris, nobody's ever done this in the history of trailers, right? Now, if you were to say the uniqueness of it could create buzz that otherwise does not exist for trailers, that's a fair point. Like, I could steel man that argument. But I don't understand why or how showing it behind closed doors and essentially allowing it to leak through controlled channels that have a relationship with the studio, I don't see how that is a sign of confidence. It could be a sign of genius, but it's not a sign of confidence. You know what I mean? Like, I can't get there with it. Bynamic, thank you for subscribing for 11 months, brother. That's almost a year. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. Josh is blinded by the gun hate. Oh no, I think the gun hate gives me strength. It's like the dark side. I actually think it's been incredible. A boon, if you will. DC fans or Star Wars fans are worse. I don't know, probably Star Wars fans. So I wanted to show this. I might have to find it on Twitter, though. The Deadpool holiday special thing. Did you guys see this? Let me see if I can find it. Because, like, I'm not logged in on Instagram here. Oh, here it is. Boom, shakalaka. All right, cool. Let's shift into this. Let's talk about this. This is dope. This is pretty dope. Ryan Reynolds himself teased him filming a potential Christmas-related project as Daredevil. There's no sound on this thing? Oh, what the hell? What did he say? Why is there no sound on this? Okay, so a couple of things going on here. First of all, shout out to the Geeky Cast. I've been talking about Geeky quite a bit on the channels recently. I think he's pretty good at what he does. And the Geeky Cast was the first person to scoop this Deadpool Christmas or holiday special, okay? And on top of that, not only did Geeky scoop this, but channels and people like Charles Murphy actually tried to downplay it and say that Geeky had no idea what he's talking about. I always try to be fair. I have a steel trap of a memory, probably because I'm slightly on the spectrum, so I remember all of this shit. So shout out to Geeky, another one in the bag for the Geeky Cast. Now, as far as my personal opinion on this, holy shit. What a double U. Oh my God. Guys, we just went over recently all the Marvel projects coming out, all the Star Wars stuff coming out. You got Skeleton Crew coming out in a couple of weeks here. You've got freaking What If Season 3. You've got Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man that we have at home dropping. You know, we've got Eyes of Wakanda. We got all these things. Now, look, there are Marvel projects I'm excited about. Don't get it twisted. Daredevil Born Again, even Captain America, the MacGuffin of Vibranium versus Gamma, Thunderbolts, Fantastic Four, all of that shit. But there are projects that I am not that excited about. Like your Ironheart, like your Wonder Man, like a lot of these other projects. Okay? And out of nowhere, we're getting potentially a Deadpool Christmas special. Massive fucking W. Oh my God. I need it. Inject it into my veins. And I think it shows a real genius of Kevin Feige that when something is going right, when the iron is hot, strike that shit. You need as much Deadpool as we can possibly handle over the next couple of years, all the way through the story of Secret Wars and beyond it. Oh my God, I can't wait for this. And I hope that we get some more, you know, cheeky kind of making fun of the MCU itself. It feels self-referential in a way that makes me appreciate the studio more, makes me forgive all of the goobly glob that we've been having to deal with. I'm so hyped up on this. I hope he addresses the She-Hulk thing on the banner. I hope he does it all. It feels like Deadpool is a character within the Marvel Cinematic Universe that is directly speaking to me as a fan of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. And the message really boils down to, we know, and it's going to be okay. And so as much as is humanly possible, put Ryan Reynolds in front of my fat face and have him tell me, we know it's going to be okay. Legitimately, it's going to go a long way. And I'm very excited for this thing. Very excited for this thing. So that's just a little kind of tidbit there, a little piece of the news dropping on you in addition to all the other lovely stories that we have going on today. So what do you guys think? I'll open it up to your thoughts, questions, comments, concerns. What do you think of this Deadpool Christmas special? What do you think it could be? Do you think it's going to be rated R? What do you think? Daredevil, did I do it again? Did I call Deadpool Daredevil again? I was doing that in so many videos around the Deadpool movie. Are we getting another movie? Yeah, you're gonna get Deadpool Wolverine 2 probably after Secret Wars. Seconds from Disaster is my take is you don't need to spend marketing money on releasing a trailer till like 4 or 5 months out. So the press seeing it early is free hype building. You know, I could see that angle. I mean, we're going to see, like, again, maybe it's a genius move. We'll see. It's certainly different. And it will just be, but here's the ironic thing, right? This is what I thought. What's really interesting about this entire conversation about the trailer and James Gunn is that literally all of us, without admitting it, are presupposing that the press is going to respond positively. Like, you know, I can say that differently for you if you didn't catch what I mean there. But the interesting element of this is that literally all of us are presupposing that the press is going to be very positive on this. I presupposed it when I made all of my points. You all presupposed it when you made all of your points. What if we're wrong? Aaliyah, that is true. And frankly, that should indicate to all of you why he's doing it, right? I love this thing called rationality, logic. These are lovely aspects of the human consciousness. The fact that we all thought that is an indicator of why he is doing it. However, what if we're wrong? What if the press comes out and fucking drags this thing? I don't expect it. You don't expect it. And James Gunn certainly does not expect it. But wouldn't that be amazing if he did it and the press dragged his ass? What does that do to the hype? Interesting. But anyway, we're talking about Deadpool. Don't you guys want to move on? Social media reactions are usually positive, and then the reviews hit, as we have seen happen a lot. Fair. As long as you're not invited, he's fine. Fair point. Fair point, Adam. That's a fair point you got there. Josh always preying on Gunn's downfall. That's not true. Just like Grace Randolph, I cover this stuff completely even-handed, no bias, no agenda. So there you have it. I'm just confused why it's James Gunn when there's two of them together. Never heard mention of Saffron. I don't. What do you want me to do there? You want me to throw Peter under the bus every time I throw James under the bus? Would that make you feel better? My God, I can't wait for this Diamond Lounge. We're gonna let it rip. We're gonna let it rip tonight. Brian Namek says with a 5 spot, what do you think Gunn needs to show us in the trailer to actually hype fans? Personally, if it's mediocre, it will not generate a lot of hype. Yeah, I agree. I think tone is the most important thing. I think many people are like, okay, so if you're like me and you're skeptic of this whole thing, what's going to put me at ease? I don't want this to feel like another James Gunn production a la Peacemaker, Suicide Squad, Guardians. I don't want it to have that overly goofy, campy feel. I want it to feel like Superman. Right? So that's number one. If the tone comes out and it just feels like Superman, if it feels like Gunn left his aesthetics at home, if he understood the assignment and delivered without ego what is needed for a Superman story, that's a huge W for me. Okay? Can't speak for everybody. Maybe some people want Guardians of the Galaxy with Superman, him using a Walkman and making fart jokes. Maybe the Glazers would be okay with that. I'm not okay with that. So that's number one. Number two, I want to see how that suit looks in action. That suit looks... But I think it could actually end up looking pretty good in action. So I want to see what that looks like. And also, I need to see what the overall action looks like. Remember, too, if the rumors are true, you're going to get Green Lanterns flipping stuff. You're going to get a kaiju. You're going to get battle-worn Superman in the suit in the snow. So, I mean, I'm really interested in what the Green Lanterns look like. I'm interested in what Mr. Terrific looks like. I'm interested in all of these DC characters. So, the aesthetics and the sort of tone of those characters, that'll be important, too. For sure. Leonard says, guaranteed the press Gunn invites are chosen specifically to give positive feedback on the trailer. That would not surprise me. Probably a smart move, too. But it also shows fear, right? Rossi says, if the trailer is bad, can Gunn pull it and recut it or something? Can he delay his release to the public? I'm sure he technically could. But the real question is, can any change overcome the first impression, even if that first impression comes via a journalist's description of the trailer? And that is a harder question to answer, right? That's a harder question to answer. I prefer a serious adaptation of Superman, and all I've seen from James Gunn is the opposite. CW did Vigilante right. James Gunn didn't. Adam Warlock, if I speak. Yeah. Yep. I mean, look, I get it. I have a lot of empathy. I feel a lot of the same way when it comes to his sensibility and all that stuff. So, yeah, we'll see. I'm a little concerned, to say the least, but we're going to find out together. We are going to find out together. Okay. Any other news bits, man? Anything else going on out there? I don't really think there's too much going on. Maybe I'll catch up on chats. Maybe we'll hang out for a little bit and then we'll get out of here because I gotta go. I gotta get to a hair appointment. You see this crazy hair in the back? This shit is out of control. So, probably gonna get out of here relatively soon. All right, let me catch up on some chats here. See if I lost anything. The Kwisatz Haderach is the universal super being, what Paul was supposed to be. Oops, spoilers. No, you're good. The war with the robots was the Butlerian Jihad. Yes. What I was talking about was those aliens. What are they called again? The tribe something or other. Somebody had it in chat. Say it again. Somebody hit me up in chat again with it. What are they called? Oh, damn. I forget what they're called. But look, let me just I'll break it down kind of as simply as I can. The God Emperor, which is like, that's the coolest stuff in Dune. You know, all the Paul stuff to me is prelude. It's really about Leto the Second. Tleilaxu. 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 Sucker and succotash. It's the Tleilaxu. Let me try to explain this shit. One of the things the God Emperor fears, the whole point of the Golden Path, is that he sees that eventually humanity would be completely destroyed by the Tleilaxu. By the Jared Letos. They're super advanced technology. So the guy that's doing all the fire shit right now in the Dune show is probably Tleilaxu technology. Okay? They're super advanced technology. So the God Emperor, he needs to change humanity in order for humanity to survive the Tleilaxu. And there's a couple of things he changes. So first of all, he breeds into humanity that they actually cannot be perceived by people that have what is known as prescience or future sight. So he slowly breeds into humanity that they will not be seeable by those that have future sight. He also breeds into humanity their hatred for messianic figures, including himself, right? So like God Emperor of Doom is actually a collection of journals that Leto II left behind after he died. Dude, Dune is crazy. There's a lot you could say about it, a lot of crazy shit, but the point is Paul's son Leto II has even better future sight. He has the balls to do what his father could not, which is to become the worm god so that he lives for thousands of years, so that he can truly take control of all of humanity on a timetable long enough for them to defeat the fucking the Tleilaxu. And so all of that stuff is referenced in the first episode of Dune Prophecy. But it's like really deep cut. Like you'd have to know the biblical story that Leto II talked about in his journals and what that references and all that sort of stuff. So, yeah. I don't know if that answers your question, but there you go. Okay, let's see here. I hope Kang becomes a variant of Tony Stark. What the hell? Jeremiah says, since the Russos are back, that equals no more Kang. Well, it just means that Kang will not be what he was going to be. I think there's room for Kang, but he will be pushed to the side. I mean, it's all about Doom. You know what I mean? Shogun Orta says the Kwisatz Haderach is the universal super being. What Paul's supposed to be. Right. If Superman makes $1 billion, yeah. Vandolph says, where does Gunn's animosity for Cavill? We talked about that. Didn't Gunn screw over the original writer of Guardians of the Galaxy? He tried to. And you know what's so funny is like there's all these like I think Gunn, when he was fired, became super paranoid and protective, and I think he also got literally a bunch of bots that defend him online. That might seem crazy, but like I dead ass think that's what he did. And so I think there's like a lot of James Gunn glazers, but I also think he uses like a lot of bots and he's very careful with how he like speaks and acts online because he doesn't want to have happen to him when he was fired to happen again. And so I saw like some weird like James Gunn body supporters like trying to like say that he didn't try to sue his co-writer's credit off of the first Guardians movie. I mean, Joanna Robinson, in that incredible book, she outlines it in full detail what it is. If you don't understand what happened there, you either just are uneducated or you're bad faith. Now, that's not to say that like one instance of ego from like a Hollywood guy is the full story. He could have changed. He could have had a bad moment there. It could have been early in his career. But I would argue the pattern persists. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, I mean, that's the story. Go read it in the reign of Marvel Studios. You know, she outlines it pretty well. What do you think Gunn needs? Oh, we already went over that. One small thing, Josh. You keep saying Cormac, FF, Cormac McCarthy, who wrote, right. It's Roger Corman. Damn. I literally just messed that up in the video that I did this morning, so thank you for that. It's Roger Corman, not Cormac McCarthy. Appreciate you, brother. Thank you. Taylor says, so sick of Gunn using the kaiju trope. What else does he use? I mean, I guess technically Starro, but what else does he use the Starro or the? I haven't really seen him use that trope in everything. Is it in Peacemaker? Yeah, I don't know. I didn't watch that shit. I didn't watch that shit, bro. Let's see here. I think we're all caught up on the soupy chats, ladies and gentlemen. Scooby-Doo. He used the kaiju in that. K-Dot dropped a new album. Has anybody checked it out yet? No, I have not. Maybe I will. James Gunn is good, man. I like some of his movies, for sure. I think he's a very competent filmmaker. There's stylistic things that he does that I'm not super down with. I always try to be good faith about Gunn. Like, I will always admit that he's an accomplished and very capable writer and director. 100%. You missed mine? All right, well, it better be good, Noah. Now I'm looking for it. No, I did read that, Noah. I showed you the hair dye. Unless there's another one. Oh, people thinking Majors will return as naive as thinking Disney will get Gina back. It's unrealistic AF. So, I mean, you might be right. And yet, I see logic to both. Right? So, like, look, I'm not in those boardrooms, obviously. That's not my field. And I don't have the connections that are maybe a consideration when somebody makes a decision like this at a studio. But I will say, from my perspective, I could see a benefit, and I would argue that benefit if I was in that room to bringing both of those people back. You know, and I've explained it. I think second chances, I think rehabilitation, I think it could be seen as positive PR against some of the narratives that are against Disney. And so therefore, I could actually see the logic in doing either one of those things. I think it would be a good move. There was no sound on Ryan's IG post. Damn. So he's just messing with us, huh? Yeah, Noah, I get you, brother. Totally. Appreciate it, man. Appreciate you. Yeah. He's still a liability. Every actor is a liability. That's why you pay insurance. I dislike Majors, but he deserves a second chance. Fair. K-Dot got my booty scooty. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. The booty scooty, huh? Hey, the booty scooty, huh? Huh? Comics things. I don't believe so, brother. Okay, guys. Hey, we're going to get on out of here. I got to get to my haircut. Tomorrow, massive video dropping. Nice, chunky, 16-minute video all about Kang and how he was afraid of Doctor Doom. Again, shout out to Ryan Airy. I didn't love the video, but it did inspire me. And I actually was really enjoying writing and performing and editing that video. I think you guys are going to love it too, for sure. So I'm going to get on out of here. That video will drop tomorrow. Probably won't be back at it in... Oh, yeah, we got the Diamond Lounge tonight, so come on by for that. If you are a Diamond Lounge member, I will see you there 7:30. We can talk some aliens. We can talk a whole bunch of stuff. That's going to be very fun. So I will see you all there. And otherwise, enjoy yourselves. Enjoy your weekend. We'll be back at it next week. A lot of big things cooking here at the channel. And Sunday, I got to double check. There's something, I feel like we have something going on Sunday. Like, I feel like my wife has something on Sunday, but I'm not sure. If you're a Prime member, just stay tuned, man. I'll talk about it on the Discord, but we will have a Prime stream on Sunday as well, okay? I appreciate you. As I always say, I hope you are having an awesome and a nerdy day. And I'll see you in the next video. Woo, we cooked today. Thanks, Raji. Thank you for the sticker. Yeah, man, give them what they want. I was gonna play this song for the press first, but fuck it. Gubernatorial. Gooba, gooba, gooba. Notoria. Is everybody gone? Did everybody leave? Leave. Oh man, what a happy landing. I was feeling it today. I was feeling it in my plums. Feeling it way down deep in my plums. So I hope you enjoyed it. We're at the tippity top and only halfway up. Think about it. Probably shouldn't be saying that anymore, but that's how I feel in my plums. All right, everybody. Remember, open up your third eye and wash out your poopy butthole.
Beautiful bluish hue. The sun just dancing right off him, just nice. Getting ready to take him to market. I can feel it down in my plums. I can feel it down in my plums. They're getting a nice bluish hue. Getting ready to take him to the farmer's market. I can feel it down in my plums. They're getting a nice bluish hue. Getting ready to take him to